Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jeremy and Andrew Show. And now, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Andrew.
Welcome to the Jeremy and Andrew Show. This is a very special episode.
Sure is.
I'm lying, it's not.
We don't have anything.
We just meander.
Yeah, it's mostly shit and piss.
Oh yeah,
McMahon and dick jokes. But welcome to the show anyway. We are happy to have you here on a Monday. We love you guys being with us. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. We're starting to see more and more people watching, which is good because this stuff takes a lot more time than we realize it does, and probably you guys, realize it does too. But it's fun either way. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on in the news that we want to get to. We got some questions at the end here. We got some comedy news. So we got a few things going on. Just to get started here, let's talk about the illegal aliens. I said it. Illegal aliens. They don't even let you say that now. You can't say illegal or aliens. You're supposed to say like migrants.
Undocumented migrants.
Undocumented migrants. That's like trying to say a minor attractive person. I mean, come on.
I got some documents for you. It's called Goodbye.
It's called the Island of San Juan. That's actually Puerto Rico, which is still. It's kind of crazy. So in New York, they're actually having these illegal, people that have invaded the country live in their houses. That's already happened. Mm-hmm. And the propaganda is absolutely hilarious. Like, have you seen the video? There's this woman that's like talking about having these, people in their house. I think they're maybe from Nigeria.
Is that the woman from Massachusetts that has like a live-in
chef?
Chef?
Yeah, that's what she likes to call it. Like, yeah, it's like having a chef or whatever.
And it's really fun having them. What I realized is there's so much prejudice against refugees, mostly because people don't know them.
Lisa says she feels like she has her own personal chef, as Wildande loves cooking.
So this is starting to happen in these areas, and it's pretty insane because, I mean, technically there should be no, it's part of the Constitution to not have, somebody boarded in your home that's generally from the military. So I guess this is kind of like there's a bit of a loophole. But then, if they're in your house for a certain period of time, then they have rights. You can't just kick people out of your home after they've been there for X amount of days, whatever it is.
Imagine that if that shit was happening in Alabama. It's like, God damn, I got myself a live-in chef. And that bitch can cook. I ain't paying her nothing. Oh, this illegal immigration is great. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's questionable to say the least. A lot of people have compared it to, slavery, which
this bitch cooks me grits like you would not believe.
True.
Well, there's hope for me where I can find myself an illegal big booty hoe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You could find that. One that cooks well and isn't on OnlyFans just yet.
Just yet.
Pretty soon, though. Then you won't have to work anymore. It's really not a bad way to go about it. There's also, in New York, they're doing this pilot program to give 500 illegals $53 million, which, if I do the math right, that ends up being like $106,000 per person. So, I don't understand. Obviously, all that money's not going to them. Most of that's probably going into the politicians' pockets. But it's an absolute shit show. It's a total joke, and hopefully, people are kind of starting to wake up to it a little bit.
Some are, most aren't.
Yeah,
especially if you live in New York.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love to go to New York. It was kind of shitty, but at the same time, it was all right.
Yeah. You expect it to, smell pee and step in things you didn't want to and have to get on the subway and see some horrific things.
But it was the Big Apple.
But yeah,
it was the city of hope where dreams come true.
A city that never sleeps. Times Square, 24/7. 365. Always something going on. But yeah, now it's just people are afraid to live there, and the crime's just out of control. But they'll pretend it's not, because what they'll do is they won't take police reports, or to actually file a police report, it'll take you like 3 hours to do that, and they'll throw you through a bunch of hoops, and it's not even worth it at that point.
Like a police report now is 17 pages.
Yeah, they want you to
in
write
triplicate.
It out. Yeah, so they're doing all these things
in blue pen.
Yeah.
If you use a black or red pen, you have to start over.
Yeah, it's like a Scantron, number 2 pencil only.
I remember going to New York, like to Caroline's or the Comedy Cellar. It was fun.
Yeah, I went to. I think they're bringing it back. I know it hasn't been there for a little while. Dangerfields. I think they're bringing it back though. But that was a cool little club. Like, I remember seeing one of my first real New York stand-up shows was there, and my parents probably reluctantly took me there, and I was laughing and having a good time. I was probably 15, cracking up at the comedian talking about getting high, and that was before I even got high. But
I'm gonna have to preface this with the term "no homo." I actually went to see a Broadway show on my own with my buddies. I went to see
Totally Straight.
Avenue Q.
That's a good one.
Yeah, with the puppets.
Yeah, it's a funny one. Yeah, no, I've seen a bunch of shows. We used to go, and we used to have a high school trip where we would go. So I've seen quite a few. I've seen Lion King, Phantom of the Opera.
Only the ones that aren't blasphemous to God, right?
Yeah, pretty much. No, actually, I saw Avenue Q in Philly. Avenue Q is a funny one.
Yeah, it is.
And I want to go see Book of Mormon. I still haven't gotten to see that. I would want to see that. That's gotten really good reviews, and Matt and Trey are fucking hilarious, so I'm sure it's hilarious.
But now the only way I want to see New York is from New Jersey.
Pretty much. I don't even want to be there though. Yeah, that's a shame. I don't even really like going into Philly anymore.
I have to do it all the time.
Yeah, well, that's part of your job, so you're just luckily you don't have to probably get out and peruse the streets too often. If they run out of your van, you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, if they run out of my van, bye.
They're the streets. They're the streets problem now.
All right. I hope the streets finds you well.
Be doing the zombie shuffle in Kensington.
Yeah. Before we move on,
yeah.
I was in Lansdowne right as that thing was happening with the fire and the shooting. Just really, you know what I'm talking about, right?
The fire and the shooting. I don't know.
There was a fire in Lansdowne. The police and firemen go to. I think I have it reversed. There was like was
this the Acorn shooting?
No.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later.
There was a report of a 11-year-old who got shot in Lansdowne.
Okay.
The police go to, investigate. Somebody opens fire, then they set their house on fire.
Oh.
So I'm in really bad traffic, dodging, police cars and fire trucks. When it's one of their own who gets shot, those cops do not give a fuck about the speed limit.
No, they go off. Did the cop get killed?
No,
Good.
But there's like 11 people in that house, and since
Jesus,
since there was shooting, they couldn't send the fire people in, so I think what they said is all they found was like torsos. There's going to be a lot more that comes out, but that was oh my God, fucking, just surreal.
That's brutal. There was that many people in the one house? Because I know with row homes, a lot of times, like, one fire will catch a bunch of other units on fire. That's insane.
Yeah, we will put a link to the story.
Yeah, you got to shoot that my way. Speaking of fires, nobody's talking about the fires in Chile. Pretty much the same thing that happened in Maui, it seems, happened in Chile. Very similar videos, aftermath, and you don't really hear much about it. I mean, I haven't really heard much about it. Like, I felt like I needed to bring it up here.
I didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a mass fire, and like I said, I mean, it looked very similar to what happened in Maui. The cars were destroyed, and there was random spots that weren't hit. But yeah, it looked pretty bad.
Same incompetence, I'm assuming.
I mean, when it's that bad, I don't know if it was as bad as they turned the water off. I don't know if it was quite that bad, but I just thought it was interesting because nobody's talking about it. And this is as of 1 hour ago on today. Suppression efforts continue as forest fires rage in central Chile. So,
I mean,
even as of now, this is still happening.
What is there for the news to gain to blame someone in a country that nobody gives a fuck about?
Well, it's not even about that. I think it's just about the climate change agenda that they're trying to really, really, really stock up right now. I think they want to maybe potentially make it so bad that they want to lock people down for climate change before the election. Something along those lines. I don't know. This is all the way I feel and think, but
I personally think cut down those trees. If God didn't want us to cut down trees, He wouldn't have invented a chainsaw.
Yeah, you're supposed to. I mean, that's part of keeping up with
God
the
loves chainsaws.
So, I mean, at least 123 people were killed. And it seems like, I don't know, I guess this is like a combination of a tornado of fire that's being written about, and, it was their worst disaster since their 2010 earthquake. So, and yeah, it seems like there's still portions of the area that are still on fire too, which is kind of crazy.
Okay, wow. That's kind of crazy, and I guess the Australians up on things, the website that you're at.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Even you think one of the first links here would have been, New York Times or something would have been talking about this, but it's like the Telegraph, and it's these really, really small news networks and outlets. And you'd think they'd want to have anything that would distract people from Trump, from Trump selling out his shoes. Did you see this?
No. Is he selling Crocs?
No.
That would be awesome. With just a
Gators,
orange-haired Crocs.
That would be pretty
with
funny.
Trump eyes.
No, he is selling these gold shoes though. Let's see if we can get a picture of the Trump shoes. So yeah, he announced that they were coming out, and they sold out immediately. He was at this shoe.
Blow that up.
Yeah, he was at a shoe convention thing in Philadelphia actually, and
those are kind of ugly.
The crowd was chanting, FJB, F Joe Biden, and yeah, apparently they sold out. Now,
I'm not a sneakerhead, but I'm not digging the Trump Force Ones.
Now all the news outlets came out with a bunch of stories about how the crowd booed Trump, which is funny because they didn't come out with any stories about how they were chanting "fuck Joe Biden." Pretty interesting how they negate to say that. Hey, Jeremy's gonna die on the podcast. You're going to get our numbers up. Die, Jeremy! Die! You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought you needed to do the Heine lick maneuver there for a second. Anyway.
Where did you get this water from? Russia?
That just... They take these bottles and they go to China and they just go right into the whatever body water close. I don't know. What do they have there?
No wonder.
Do they even have water?
No wonder this water kind of tasted like a German Shepherd. So I've heard.
Much. It does explain a lot.
Oh, just some water went down the wrong throat hole.
So yeah, we just we killed a bunch of stories really fast that we want to talk about, but yeah. So the Chili Fires is crazy. We talked about New York and the illegals taking over and everything going on there. What we didn't talk about in New York though is we're going to pivot to comedy here. Our boy Shane Gillis will have, when this comes out on Monday tonight, just did SNL, hosted Saturday Night Live.
Uh-huh.
We're hoping that happens. I mean, who knows? Maybe he gets canceled.
No, they're trying to cancel him again.
Know. They really are.
Oh,
it's absolutely
they're
fucking
all a bunch of
unbelievable.
faggots.
It's unbelievable. We might have to blank that out.
Well, you're gonna have to learn how to bleep shit out.
Bleep. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. We'll have to figure that out. No, I'm gonna put it out, and hopefully, YouTube won't come back with a strike.
I hope Shane goes scorched earth in the monologue.
Yeah.
Like, you fucked me like 5-6 years ago. Now I'm back.
Well, that's pretty much what Norm Macdonald did when he went on and hosted. We'll put a clip up.
They fired me because they said that I wasn't funny, you know? Now with most jobs, I could have had a hell of a lawsuit on my hands for that, but see, this is a comedy show. So they got me, you know what? You know what? But now, this is the weird part, right? It's only a year and a half later, and now they asked me to host the show. So I wondered, I go, hey, wait a second here. Hey! I go, how did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show? How did I suddenly get so damn funny?
But yeah, he basically was like, I was, let me go, I wasn't funny. And I guess now a year later, I guess I'm funny. You know, it was like, because I guess the one guy had it out for him that was there. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Shane, I mean, he's got to address it because it's the elephant in the room.
Then I hope he leaves after the monologue.
That would be awesome.
Like, fuck you guys, I'm out.
You know, it is crazy though. Like, I don't know. I guess people do realize probably how difficult it is to be on SNL, but you know, you're really only rehearsing for that week. They're changing shit all the time. They're constantly changing lines, changing bits, scrapping shit, putting in new shit,
changing drugs
because they do drugs.
At least back in the 80s.
Well, that's for sure.
And some of the 90s.
What was it, the Bun Belushi skit when he rolls up the joint and then he goes to put it in his arm? That's a good one. So yeah, I mean it's a big deal. It's very difficult. Now he's done a lot of sketch comedy because they do, you know, he's got Gillian Keeves, which is absolutely hilarious. Now some of that you can see for free on YouTube. I think a lot of it's now behind a paywall on GillianKeeves.tv, but. I mean, as of right now, everybody knows what happened. I don't know how I'm going to even watch SNL. I don't have cable. I don't know how I'm going to watch it at this point.
I'll clue you in to some nefarious ways.
Okay, you'll have to help me out with that.
Yeah,
because
I hope he does this whole monologue in a Chinese accent, like.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. He is a little bit. since the whole Bud Light sponsorship, he's been a little bit more careful with certain things. Like, even when he's on Matt and Shane's secret podcast, he's been on Rogan, they talked about it, and there's a couple things where he's just like, don't talk about that. That's a very expensive joke to make, and it's funny. Like, he knows how to divert things, but I think he's realizing how he does have to be careful now.
Yeah, obviously I don't have a Bud Light sponsorship, so ching chong ching chong chong.
Wonderful, thank you for that beautiful song, Szechuan. And anyway. It'll be interesting to see how things change with Gillis. I think for the most part,
you got to sell out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think any of this is going to hurt him. I think it's all going to be helpful. I think everybody loves him, and I don't think I don't think he's got that he's sold out. I don't think he's got that because he kept drinking Bud Light even before he got a sponsorship or anything. So I think he just kept going and being himself. Like he
doesn't have like an activist African American wife that
like Bill Burr.
Yes, that tells him
it does help.
That's not funny, Bill.
God damn it!
God damn it!
I can't do a Bill Burr, but he was actually just on the Adam Ray, Dr. Phil show for the second time. He's been on there a couple times. He's pretty funny on there. When he's far, far away from his wife, he's pretty funny.
Did you ever hear about when he went off on the Philly crowd, the opiate traveling virus?
Oh yeah,
I was there for that.
Oh, you were there? I think you mentioned that to me at one point.
Like the crowd was just super duper hostile.
They booed what immediately?
Yeah,
he just went off.
like they booed Dom Herrera. They booed Jimmy Schubert, and
see at that point he's just like, fuck you, Philly. Like
Bill's just got to keep it 100.
Yeah.
He would lose the crowd. He would get the crowd back, and he was scheduled to do like 15 minutes, and like. He would just tell the times, like, and I'm doing every fucking second. That.
Yeah.
We'll
have to put up a clip of that, too.
Oh, fuck all you people. You know what, you fucking losers? I hope you all fucking die, and I hope the fucking Eagles never win the Super Bowl. Go fuck yourselves. Fuck all you motherfuckers, and fuck the Friars. Fuck all of you. Fucking goddamn fucking losers. Boo and Dom Herrera. Suck a dick. All of you. Suck a fucking dick. How's that? No, I'm segueing into my next joke. You can all lick my fucking red nuts. All of you. You can line up in your Harold Carmichael fucking jerseys, and one at a time, you can all suck my dick. City of brotherly love, you bunch of fucking cocks. Just walking around again. Fucking goddamn losers. 52 fucking hours into a show. The fuck am I gonna do at this point? You people on a goddamn acid. Fucking be up here talking about Hitler. That ain't gonna work. What do you want me to talk about? Hey, throw out some topics. Let's talk about heart disease. Something you're all gonna fucking die of, and I'm gonna laugh at your fucking funerals. It's gonna be great. You're all gonna get fucking cancer, which is fantastic because all your fucking heads are shaved anyways. No one's even gonna notice. You're gonna get fired for coming to work too late because they're not gonna notice that you have fucking bone marrow cancer. The only thing's gonna give it away is me laughing at you in the fucking background. You fucking bunch of losers with your fucking cell phone pictures. Fucking suck a dick. Fucking assholes. 11 more minutes of this. I hope you all get in your Ford Focuses and fucking drive off the side of that faggot-ass Ben Franklin Bridge. You fucking one-bridge having piece of shit city that no one gives a fuck about. The terrorists will never bomb you people because you're fucking worthless and no one cares about you.
That was one of the more brutal shows I've been to, but I just respected him for just going off on the crowd like that. We deserved it. It was our fault, collectively.
Yeah, I love those type of stories. you know, I always came from the school of thought of like you don't insult the crowd, but that's also because I have a background more in like magic. So it was like being on stage is like, all right, you don't want to insult the crowd. Comedy's a lot different, you know. It actually turns out to be really funny, and they if they're giving it to you and you start giving it back at them, then it becomes, you know, that give and take, that back and forth, and it becomes really, really funny. You got to be really good at it, though. I mean, it takes a lot of skill to.
I'm not, so it's anytime, you know, there's some sort of heckling, I just go for pure meanness.
Yeah,
but
that's fun.
And just cursing, and I can get away with it because I'm a 6 foot, 300-pound white guy.
That does
with a
help.
bald head. Yeah, I got a bald head. You seen that meme, right?
Nah.
The big black guy going, I got a bald head, just knocking people over.
We'll see if we can get a clip of that.
What you mean, brother? Jackass. I got a bald head, motherfucker. Brody don't pay. Jackpot. Yeah, put that shit back. We eating good tonight. Brody don't pay for shit. Motherfucker, I got a bald head. Dude. That ain't the thing, dude. Yeah. Cool off, motherfucker. Motherfucker, I got a bald head.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm giving you extra credit to do this week.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Like, it doesn't already take me 3 hours to do an episode. In crazier news, there's been a lot of shootings have been happening. There's been a shooting at the Osteen Church, Joel Osteen.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I thought it was Joel Osteen.
Maybe it's both.
I think this is a Bernstein Bears scenario. I think there's a little Mandela effect here going on. Does anybody else remember it being Joel Osteen? I don't ever remember it being Osteen. And my mom used to watch this guy religiously all the fucking time. Like, seriously.
Maybe he doesn't care how you pronounce his name because he's swimming in a pool of money.
I don't know.
Like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, and so it's interesting, and so there was that shooting where, you know, basically the only person that I know that got killed, right, was the shooter.
Yeah.
And then I think
and
the shooter's daughter was in critical condition. I don't know if that's...
Don't know. But the mainstream media, they
already nuked that story.
They are saying that she was not, that he, she, shim was not a transsexual. Not a transsexual. That is just fake news.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the double standard is so clear and obvious at this point. There was also the shooting at the Super Bowl parade. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, again, in a scenario where a lot of people could have gotten killed, only like one person as of recently that I know of died. I think 22 other were injured. A bunch of those were like kids. But I mean, still, for only one person to have died, I think that's pretty much a fucking miracle that more people aren't getting killed. And those are two mass shootings basically right there.
Yeah, it was like two Utes.
Yeah, I don't know. I might go full conspiracy theorist on that one. No.
Come on, let's go. Come on.
No. I it was weird. I think it was Chris Collinsworth had come out about how like he wasn't going to be at the Super Bowl and something weird, like something bad was going to happen at the Super Bowl, and then obviously nothing bad happened at the Super Bowl, but something really bad happened at the Super Bowl parade, and it could have been a lot worse.
Well, that's what happens when you defund the police. You don't have police to do the little bit of overtime.
The videos I saw, the cops are right there, and fucking, you know, people in the crowd were the ones tackling the shooters, not the cops. They were tackling the shooters and waiting for the cops to come over and assist at that point.
No, at that point, I'm assuming Kansas City is hiring anybody with a pulse who wants to wear a blue button-up.
Probably, I don't know. Could have been a Uvalde situation, though.
Probably, maybe.
Who knows? Could have been a stand-down situation. And then once the people were already wrapped up, I don't know. So that was another one. And then the funniest shooting is the Acorn shooting.
The Acorn.
Yeah, so this guy, and we'll definitely put up a clip of this, but the cop is heading back to like his patrol vehicle, and an acorn apparently falls and hits the hood of the car, and he thinks he's being shot.
I think it's a she.
The guy I think the person doing the shooting is a guy.
Mm-hmm.
There was a female cop that was at a house assisting, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "Yeah, shots fires." And then he just starts unloading on the back of the car. The patrol car. His own patrol car, which has a person inside of it. I will say it was a black male. I wouldn't have said that, but you guys made me do it. And he was in handcuffs and everything. It's a miracle that guy didn't get killed.
Let's be politically correct. Melanin enhanced.
Yes.
Human being.
Yes. That's what it'll be. It'll be like, I don't know how melanin's measured, but it'll be like, say your melanin skin intake or whatever is like a 15.
Okay.
And they'll be like, oh yeah, it'll just be like, oh yeah, it was a 37 male instead of saying like black male.
Here's how I'm going to measure melanin in this imaginary scale.
Yeah.
KFC buckets.
Go on.
You just want to move on, don't you?
No, I want you to elaborate.
Oh, that's our scale. Well, like
how many KFC buckets determines the melanin in your skin? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe you're not sure.
In that case, I'm a pretty dark human being in that case, because
maybe you're not.
It might just be the cholesterol in my blood, really.
Maybe you're not sure of the person's race, so maybe they're just like a 3-piece in a biscuit.
Mm.
If they're like Manute Bowl Black, that's a whole.
Well, listen, I went to Chick-fil-A today, and that just came out of me like fucking terrible. I wish I went to KFC.
Like water off a goose's back.
More or less.
You had a bad case of butt water.
And his name's Juan. Stop calling him Goose. Anyway, moving right along. No, we pretty much went over everything we want to talk about. We will talk about one quick thing. There have been a lot more plane issues. A lot more plane crashes. Have you seen? There's been a couple.
The last one you sent me was a GA plane, General Aviation. I think the plane is called like a Diamond DA-20.
Okay.
And the door just fell off somewhere over Buffalo.
But obviously the frequency of this stuff is a lot higher. I mean, doors are falling off, fuselages are falling off.
Andrew's a man who knows nothing about aviation.
No, I don't know anything about it. I know that they stopped giving out bags of peanuts a while ago.
Like when you're talking general aviation, you're talking about the owner of the plane maintaining his own plane.
Mm.
Yeah. If the door is wonky, that's on the pilot.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. So this wasn't a commercial airline.
No, it was like a 4-seater.
Okay. No, there was another one that recently happened. It was a pretty big crash, I thought. Let me see if I can get the latest news on it.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a few that have happened. This is as of an hour ago. Yeah. See, now I'm not gonna be able to find it. Oh, this is the one I was thinking of. That might have been the one that you just said.
All right. Let's see.
They launched those engines.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's
they tried to make an emergency landing on the interstate.
That's obviously not a door. That was something a lot more.
Interstate 75.
Well, what happened is they lost both engines at too low of an altitude. They couldn't make the runway. So.
They're not going to make the runway.
When you have airspeed and altitude, you have time for a plan. They had neither of that, so the pilots just did the best they could under a really bad situation. That's another one where it's a miracle only 2 people died.
It says the wing pulverized this one car. I mean, did anybody die in a car?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't get much information on the actual injuries that took place. But, yeah, I mean, the frequency of this stuff is really high. Again, I think a lot of this is to deter people from flying more and more. They really want to tank the industry. They don't want people flying. And, again, they're going to, I think a lot of this is going to go back to climate change. They're going to be able to use climate change for a lot. They're going to say, our carbon in the air is so bad. We could have fires break out at any minute. You need to stay in your home.
That's all right. I'll just take my 70 Malibu, 396 V8s, no muffler. You don't want me to fly? I'll just drive.
I think it's going to come down to cars too. That's why they're trying to drive the electric market too, because they just want to shut it down. You shut down your car. Hey, you can't drive today. Too much carbon in the air. And they just turn off your car.
Yeah, good fucking luck. My car's 2007.
It might break down it's Agenda 2030. I think by then your car might be done on its own.
Now, I'm driving that thing until 2100. I'm driving my Nissan.
There was a guy that I think it was a Honda. He got to 1 million miles, I'm pretty sure.
That doesn't surprise me.
Pretty sure it was a Honda, and that was like their biggest marketing, and they ended up giving the guy a new car and a bunch of other things.
I got 300,000 miles out of my Toyota Matrix, and I was not driving that thing nice.
I think there was a few of them. A 1990 Honda Accord.
Yeah, I was doing that Grubhub, and I was doing the DoorDash. And I was picking strangers up, doing the Uber. Yeah, I was doing the Uber.
Ubi doobie. All right, we're going to finish it up here. We have one last thing we need to address. That's Dark Lumen. Again, he's got a couple. Thank you for, watching the episodes and commenting and leaving some questions for us to explore here. So he basically gave a list of his comics. So he gave us his best comics and his worst comics. So his best comics are Shane Gillis, Mark Norman, Bobby Lee, and Andrew Santino.
Oh, that's not Citino Marella?
Who's that?
He used to be a wrestler.
Oh, okay. Then no, I don't think that was his favorite comic.
It should be.
Unless he was really funny in the ring.
He was great. It should be one of his favorite comics.
All right. Well, okay. Dark Lumen added to the list of your favorite comics.
Add that shit.
No, I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about this list. Let me give his worst comics, and then we'll get maybe a better spectrum here. So his worst comics, Brendan Schaub, Brian Callen, Chris D'Elia, Joe Rogan, Tony Hinchcliffe, Andrew Schultz, and then Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. So those are his worst. So, I mean, do you want to start?
I've heard Brendan Schaub sucks, but I've never seen his stuff. Brian Callen, I didn't even know who he was until today.
All right.
I like Chris D'Elia, especially now.
D'Elia was really funny when he was on Workaholics as Topher, and he was actually a child molester on there. It's like
some of the best roles aren't acting.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of truth in comedy. They will say that. All right, and then he's got Rogan on the worst list.
Fuck off. Rogan's great.
Tony Hinchcliffe, Andrew Schultz,
and Bert and Ernie.
Ernie, and Tom. Here's what I'll say. I don't mind these lists at all. I think everybody has their own opinion. I will say that they're very podcast oriented, I think. So I think you got to be very careful about being like, oh, that person's not a good comic because you've seen them a lot on podcasts, and maybe you just don't like what they have to say on podcasts, especially Rogan. I mean, Rogan has literally a year of spoken word on tape or more of him just talking. You know what I mean?
Rogan's pretty mellow when he's doing his podcast, but when he's on stage, he's a fucking animal.
I think his stand-up, what I've seen, is pretty good. Tony Hinchcliffe, I think Kill Tony is really, really funny. Mm-hmm. I think the way he interjects and keeps the show going is really good. And I think his stand-up is pretty solid. I think in general he's funny. Andrew Schultz, I think he's funny. I think he's gotten...
Oh, I love Andrew
didn't
Schultz.
like Andrew Schultz at first. I wasn't a huge fan. Started to like him a little bit more when I watched a couple of his specials. I thought he was really funny. Now, again, I think it goes back to the podcast. Are you seeing him too much? Do you just not like his opinions on there? Do you not like the friends that he's with? Because everybody kind of tends to be that same kind of fratty douchebag. They kind of neg on their guests. Like, I think there's that weird vibe there with Schultz.
I would love to know Dark Lumen's favorite and least favorite pro wrestlers, because that motherfucker definitely has one.
There you go. Dark Lumen, let us know in the chat your favorite and worst.
I guarantee he's an AEW mark.
Bert and Tom, same thing. I think it's the podcast thing. Like, if you would have said Bert Kreischer wasn't funny back when the machine was rolling, when he first came out and that bit went viral, it would have been the same thing if you would have said Ron White's not funny back when he was doing his I got thrown out of a bar, or I got a drunk in public. Like, that was the pinnacle. Segura, same thing. It's like his stand-up was good, and it's lacked a little bit now because I think he's focusing too much on podcasts. Schaub was a NFL player, then he was a fighter. Now he wants to be a comic, or now he's kind of taking some time off because his daughter's sick. I think he doesn't have an identity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's the guy that he starts dating a girl and she's wearing a kimono, so he's wearing a kimono. Like, that's the type of guy he is.
Here's one comic that a lot of comics like, but I am just not as big of a fan. Bill Burr.
Yeah. Bill Burr, I think, was really good. I think he, again, he's lost a little bit of his edge, and I think part of that is because of,
I think
his
it's
wife.
my fault that I don't like Bill Burr. Like, I'm too far gone.
Yeah, like, what's the most recent thing that you've seen of Bill Burr? Like, do you even put yourself out there to watch any of his stuff? Which you don't you generally watch stand-up. But
the last thing I watched from Bill was like he was doing a bit on abortion. Mm-hmm. And he was making the comparison to
abortion always kills.
Baking a cake.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I don't...
batter, if you destroy the batter. Then...
I don't totally dislike Bill Burr, but I am not as in love as most comics tend to be with Billy.
Yeah, I think Burr is pretty good. I think he used to be better. I think, Louis C.K., I think he's fucking hilarious. Even though he went on hiatus, he came back with a vengeance. Brian Callen, I think he's okay. Like, I never thought he was that funny. He's been on Rogan. He's on Stephen Colbert now, and he's okay. Like,
which instantly makes him not funny.
Yeah, but then Colbert's also got Nick DiPaolo on there, and he's hilarious. So.
But does he let Nick be Nick?
Yeah. I mean, it's a structured show, so you can't totally let him lash out and say what he wants to say. But
oh yeah, the censors would have to just axe his whole.
Well, no, it's pretty good because with YouTube striking everybody up all the time, they have they can hit a dump up button where now it just kind of puts up a screen because they do a live show, but they're on Rumble and everything they say on Rumble is free game. And then if you're part of the Mug Club, Nick DiPaolo, they put out actually somewhat of a special for Nick DiPaolo.
Oh, you mean Crowder, not Colbert. You say Colbert.
I did?
Yes.
I'm an idiot. Crowder.
Yeah, you might want to start
I'm
a
drinking
new
coffee.
dry month.
I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking cold brew. Yes, I meant to say Steven Crowder. Colbert was on the mind a little bit recently too because he came out with this whole stupid thing about Trump.
Yeah. That's one dude I do not like. He was written funny on The Daily Show.
Yeah, he was very funny on The Daily Show.
But yeah, that's because somebody wrote shit for him.
Yeah, he's playing a character. Best comedians. I'm not going to argue with Shane Gillis, Mark Norman, Bobby Lee, and Andrew Santino. I mean, I don't watch a lot of... Again, I think this is a little bit podcast-oriented. I think if you're going to have Gillis on that list, Matt McClusker probably has to be on that list too, because he rolls with Gillis and he's just as funny as Shane Gillis is on those podcasts.
Do you know who Shane Gillis said was funny one time? Me. My first, I'm going to bring this up until you're sick of it, my first showcase show, I was talking with all the comics and it was like, hey, you were very funny. I didn't even know how big of a deal Shane was.
Shane was about 25 Bud Lights deep that night.
Probably.
He thought you were the other guy. No, I'm just no, I'm sure he said it. I'm sure it's true. I'm sure that we're gonna keep that fantasy going.
Oh yeah, I need something to keep me going. Jesus.
All right. Well, listen, we got to stop because we kept going way too long tonight. We do appreciate everybody watching the show. Please keep watching the shows. We got another great episode for you guys next week, so definitely tune in. We do this every Monday at 6 p.m. if you haven't caught on by now, 6 p.m. Eastern. So I'm Andrew G. Check out andrewg.comedy. I'm on Instagram and YouTube, and we have a Facebook page ourselves, so check that out.
I'm Jeremy H, a.k.a. Jeremy Hubsher. If you want to, just seek out my shit.
Slip into his DMs.
Especially if you're a big booty hoe.
There you go. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching The Jeremy and Andrew Show. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. New show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern.